What if your cat has been silently judging you this whole time, and you had no idea? Most people assume their cat's pretty simple. Feed them, give them water, pet them when they're near. But your cat's actually keeping score. They've got expectations you don't even know exist, and when you break them, which you probably do every single day, they don't meow about it. They just slowly pull away from you. Let's talk about the rule almost nobody sees coming. 1. Touching them while they're sleeping. You've done this before, right? Your cat's curled up, looking adorable, and you can't resist. You reach over and give them a little scratch, maybe a gentle pet on the head. It seems harmless. But here's what just happened from your cat's point of view. You startled them during the one time they're completely defenseless. When cats sleep, they're not just resting. They're shutting down their alert system. Their guard drops. Their body relaxes. And, in the wild, that's the most dangerous state they can be in. So when you touch them without warning, even softly, their brain snaps into panic mode. Not anger, panic. A study in applied animal behavior science showed that cats who get touched during deep sleep show elevated stress hormones for up to an hour afterward. That's not nothing. That's your cat spending the next 60 minutes trying to calm back down because you thought they looked cute. The right way to wake a cat is to make a sound first. A soft voice, a little click of your tongue. Let them know you're coming before you make contact. And if they're really deep asleep, just let them be. That moment isn't for you. It's for them. And here's the thing. If you keep waking your cat like this, they start choosing to sleep farther away from you. We'll come back to that later, because where your cat actually sleeps tells you everything about whether you've been breaking their rules or following them. 2. Picking them up whenever you feel like it. Why does your cat squirm every time you try to hold them? You're not squeezing too hard, you're not being rough, but the second you lift them up, they're trying to get down. Most people assume their cat just doesn't like being held, but that's not the full story. Cats hate losing control of their body. When you pick them up without asking, you're taking away their ability to choose. And for an animal that survives by staying alert and mobile, that feels like a trap. It doesn't matter that you're safe. Their instincts don't care about your intentions. Think about it this way. Imagine someone twice your size just grabbed you off the ground without warning. You'd probably tense up too, even if you trusted them. That's what's happening every time you scoop your cat up because you wanted a cuddle. The signs your cat doesn't want to be held show up early. They turn their head away when you reach for them. They flatten their ears. Their body goes stiff the second you make contact. But most owners ignore all of that because they think their cat will relax once they're up. They won't. The rule is simple. Let your cat come to you. And if you really need to pick them up, give them a heads up first. Pet them. Talk to them. Let them know what's about to happen. That's not spoiling your cat. That's respecting the one thing they can't stand losing. And real quick, if you're starting to realize you've been doing some of this without knowing, go ahead and subscribe, because your cat's been waiting for you to figure this stuff out. 3. Keeping their litter box too close to everything. Where's your cat's litter box right now? Is it in the corner of your living room? Next to their food bowl? Shoved in a closet because you didn't know where else to put it? If it's in any of those spots, your cat hates it. They just haven't told you yet. Cats are hardwired to separate their bathroom from their living space. In the wild, they don't eliminate anywhere near where they eat or sleep. That's a survival rule. Waste attracts predators. So, keeping it far from their safe zones is how they stay alive. But in your home, a lot of cats are forced to use a box that's 5 feet from their food dish. Or right in the middle of a busy hallway where people walk past every few minutes. And your cat can't move it themselves, so they just deal with it. Until they don't. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that litter box location is one of the top 3 reasons cats start avoiding the box altogether. They'd rather hold it or find a corner somewhere else than use a bathroom that feels exposed or too close to their food. The stress doesn't just show up as accidents. It shows up as urinary issues, anxiety, and even aggression. All because the box was in the wrong spot and nobody thought to move it. The rule here is, give your cat privacy. Put the litter box somewhere quiet, away from foot traffic, and definitely not near their food. And if you've got more than one cat, don't make them share. Each cat needs their own box in their own space where they don't have to worry about being watched or interrupted. 4. Changing their routine without warning. Have you ever switched your cat's feeding time because your schedule changed? Or moved their water bowl to a different room because it looked better somewhere else? You probably didn't think it mattered. But to your cat, you just broke one of their biggest rules. Cats don't just like routine, they depend on it. Their whole sense of safety is built around knowing what happens next. When they eat at the same time every day, when their water's always in the same spot, when you come home around the same hour, that predictability is what keeps them calm. So when you suddenly feed them 2 hours later than usual, or move their stuff without any warning, your cat doesn't understand why. They just know something's wrong. And because they can't ask you about it, they assume the environment isn't safe anymore. This isn't dramatic. It's how their brain works. A study from the University of Lincoln found that cats experience genuine distress when their daily routine gets disrupted, even if the change seems minor to us. Feeding time, playtime, even the time you go to bed. All of it matters. And the fallout shows up in weird ways. Your cat starts meowing more. They follow you around the house. They stop eating as much. They're not being clingy or picky. They're trying to figure out if everything's okay. The rule is, don't change things unless you have to. And if you do have to change something, do it slowly. Shift feeding time by 15 minutes a day instead of 2 hours all at once. Move their bowl a few feet at a time. Give your cat a chance to adjust without feeling like their whole world just got flipped upside down. 5. Walking past them without saying anything. What do you do when your cat's just sitting there, staring at you from across the room? Do you say something, make eye contact, or do you just keep walking because you're busy and they're fine? Most people don't stop. And honestly, it makes sense. Your cat's not asking for anything. They're just there. But here's what you missed. Your cat wasn't just sitting there. They were checking in with you. And you didn't check back. Cats are way more social than people think. They don't need constant interaction, but they do need acknowledgement. When your cat looks at you, especially from a distance, they're doing the feline version of saying, hey. They want to know you see them, that you're still connected. And when you ignore that look and keep walking, your cat doesn't get upset. They just start doing it less. Over time, they stop checking in altogether because they learned you're not going to respond anyway. Behaviorists who study cat communication found that cats are incredibly sensitive to whether their humans engage with them during these small moments. A glance, a blink, a soft word. That's all it takes to keep the bond strong. Without it, your cat doesn't feel rejected. They just feel invisible. The fix is so easy it's almost embarrassing. When your cat looks at you, look back. Give them a slow blink. Say their name. That's it. 3 seconds of your day. And to your cat, it's everything. 6, where your cat chooses to sleep. So here's the part we've been building up to. Where does your cat sleep at night? Right next to your head? Somewhere on the bed, but not touching you. Or in a completely different room. Because that spot isn't random. It's a report card. And it's graded on every rule we just talked about. A cat who sleeps pressed against your face or on your chest is telling you something massive. They're putting themselves in the most vulnerable position possible, right next to you, with zero escape plan. That's not just love. That's total trust. That's a cat who feels so safe around you that they're willing to be completely defenseless. A cat who sleeps somewhere on the bed but keeps a little space still trusts you. But they're not all the way there yet. They want to be near you, but they also want the option to leave if something feels off. That's not distance. That's a cat who's still learning whether you're predictable. And a cat who sleeps in another room entirely isn't mad at you, but they might not feel safe enough yet to let their guard down that close. Maybe you've been waking them up too much, or picking them up without warning, or standing over them while they eat. They're not holding a grudge, they're just protecting themselves. But here's the beautiful part. You can change this. Every single one of these rules can be followed starting right now, and your cat will notice. They won't forget what happened before, but they'll start trusting you more with every day you get it right. That's how it works with cats. Slowly, quietly, and completely on their terms.